Hey there, and welcome to Celeb Tea. The federal investigation surrounding Diddy has taken a sharp and unexpected turn. Ashton Kutcher is now reportedly entangled in the chaos. Yes, that Ashton Kutcher. The internet is already buzzing with leaked information, and it's painting a troubling picture. Whispers are growing louder, and many now believe Kutcher's recent disappearance from the public eye isn't a coincidence at all. No interviews, no red carpet sightings, not even a blurry paparazzi photo of him grabbing a smoothie. The theory? He's been detained this entire time. But it gets even messier. As people dig deeper into his past, long-forgotten details and hidden stories are resurfacing, and they're disturbing. Rewinding back to his teenage years, Ashton wasn't just your average troublemaker. In a bold and illegal stunt, he actually broke into his own high school, not for a prank or a dare, but to steal and cheat. The result? A felony third-degree burglary charge. That's not just a rebellious phase. It's a red flag. Fast forward a few years, and Ashton was co-hosting some of Diddy's infamous white parties, the very same gatherings now under scrutiny for all kinds of illicit behavior. These weren't just lavish celebrity bashes. They were elite, highly exclusive events now linked to serious and suspicious allegations. And Ashton wasn't just in the background. He was in the inner circle. Then there's the unsettling case of Ellerin, Kutcher's ex-girlfriend, who was tragically murdered. Ashton claimed he went to her home, looked through the window, and saw what he assumed were wine stains on the carpet. He said he left, not realizing anything was wrong. But later that night, Ashley was found brutally murdered. Those stains? They weren't wine, they were blood. The public has long questioned his story. Who sees a red stain on the floor and simply assumes it's wine without checking on the person they were supposed to meet? Unfortunately, Ashley isn't the only woman connected to Ashton whose life ended in tragedy. Remember Britney Murphy? The beloved actress passed away at just 32. The official cause was pneumonia and anemia, but only a few months later, her husband, Simon Monjack, died of the same thing. Fans immediately began to question the eerie similarity. The suddenness, the cause, the circumstances, it was all too alike to ignore. Theories about a larger cover-up began circulating, especially when people noticed Britney's ties to Diddy's controversial inner circle as well. And that's not where the eerie pattern ends. Diddy's ex and the mother of his children, Kim Porter, also died in 2018 again. Pneumonia was listed as the cause. That's 3 high-profile individuals, all tied in some way to Diddy, and all succumbing to the same sudden illness. Coincidence? Many think not. Zooming out, it becomes clear Ashton wasn't just a Hollywood pretty boy smiling for the cameras. He was deeply embedded in this web of celebrity power and secrecy. Insiders say Diddy placed a lot of trust in Kutcher, not just as a business partner, but as a keeper of secrets. Why? One possible reason is Ashton's close friendship with Danny Masterson, who is now serving time for serious criminal offenses. It turns out that Diddy brought Ashton, Danny, and Wilmer Valderrama into what some are now calling the new Hollywood Rat Pack. But this wasn't about films or fame, it was about control, power, and silence. These men allegedly hosted private events, flew in private jets, and maintained tight circles that operated far from public scrutiny. Ashton is even rumored to have introduced Diddy to Adam Neumann, the now disgraced founder of WeWork. Neumann scammed billions from investors under the guise of creating a visionary company, and Ashton allegedly had a stake in the whole thing. Things get darker still. While publicly Ashton was seen as a philanthropic figure, especially through his nonprofit dedicated to fighting human trafficking, his private life told a very different story. When allegations against Diddy intensified, Ashton suddenly stepped down from the board of his nonprofit, citing personal reasons. But insiders say it was a strategic move, a last-ditch effort to distance himself from the fallout before it got worse. Then there's the heartbreaking downfall of Davy Chase, best known for her role as the creepy girl in The Ring. She vanished from Hollywood under mysterious circumstances. Word on the street is that her decline began the night she attended a party hosted by Ashton and Diddy. She was allegedly very young, far too young for that kind of scene. From there, her life spiraled out of control. Arrests, drug abuse, jail time. Many now believe something deeply traumatic happened that night. And then there's the shocking story of Chris Bathum, the so-called rehab mogul, who promised healing but instead manipulated and preyed upon those most vulnerable. His luxury rehab empire crumbled when he was convicted of sexually assaulting over 30 women and stealing millions in insurance fraud. But here's the catch. His facilities were favorites among Hollywood elites, and rumors swirl that some stars, including Ashton, knew more about what was happening behind closed doors than they ever admitted. Bathum reportedly partied with the same crowd, offering treatment for celebs struggling with addiction, while allegedly exploiting them for his gain. It's this tangled web of celebrities, power, abuse, and secrecy that makes people question just how deep this goes, and Ashton's name keeps coming up. In hindsight, many fans are revisiting his viral 2003 interview with Snoop Dogg, where Ashton boasted about his punked show and the lengths he'd go to catch other celebs off guard. But now, some are interpreting it differently, less of a prankster, and more of someone using hidden cameras and manipulation for influence and leverage. That theory gets even more disturbing when you consider what sources claim about Diddy's empire, blackmail. Allegedly, Diddy has kept records, videos, and secret recordings of wild parties, risky conversations, and compromising moments involving Hollywood's biggest names. And Ashton? He may have helped facilitate some of it. It's believed that his tech investments, especially in companies that dealt with surveillance, streaming, or cloud storage, were part of a larger scheme to gather and control sensitive information. This might explain why, despite mounting public pressure, Ashton has gone completely silent. Not a tweet, not a statement. Just gone. Insiders are now whispering that he was detained quietly, away from the press, and is currently being questioned as part of the investigation. The longer the silence continues, the more people believe he may be cooperating behind the scenes, potentially in exchange for a lighter sentence or protection. Meanwhile, celebrities who were once closely tied to Ashton and Diddy are now scrambling to scrub their pasts. Social media posts are disappearing. Old interviews are being flagged and removed. Celebrities like Mila Kunis, who once stood by Ashton during his support of Danny Masterson, are also facing increased scrutiny. Her silence now speaks volumes. There's also growing speculation that Ashton wasn't just another partygoer, he may have been a handler. A handler, in Hollywood terms, is someone who recruits, guides, and maintains control over younger or vulnerable celebrities, often introducing them to powerful figures under the guise of helping their careers. It's alleged that Ashton had this kind of role within Diddy's circle, using his charm and fame to lure others into the scene. And perhaps most damning is the story involving Justin Bieber. The pop star's own past is riddled with signs of exploitation, manipulation, and trauma. Former insiders claim that during a particularly low point in Justin's career, when he was spiraling publicly, he was invited to events hosted by Ashton and Diddy. Some say Justin witnessed things so disturbing that he broke ties with them entirely and turned toward religion for healing and protection. The image of Ashton Kutcher as a wholesome comedic actor is now under heavy fire. Everything from his early pranks on Punk'd to his supposed heroism in anti-trafficking efforts is being reevaluated through a new lens. Was it all a cover? Was Ashton hiding in plain sight this entire time? As the investigation unfolds, more names are expected to surface. But Ashton's involvement feels like a pivotal moment. He wasn't just a fringe player, he was at the heart of it. Whether as a confidant, collaborator, or covert operator, his role appears to go far deeper than anyone previously imagined. It's stunning fall from grace for someone once seen as a tech-savvy, socially conscious Hollywood star. But if even half of these allegations prove true, it will mark one of the most dramatic celebrity unmaskings in history. The question now is how many more are involved, and how much longer can the secret stay buried?